Yeah, boy. Morning, how are you doing? Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not in the media. I'm not accustomed to using the microphone.
I will try to do that.
Okay, good morning and welcome to AmCham's Media Election Training 2020. I am Melissa Varswick and I'm the chair of AmCham Events Committee. And I'm delighted to be here this morning to share this segment with you. One of the advantages of being in a room filled with media personalities is that you more likely would be acquainted with the members of our head table. And for that reason, I'm sure my introductions should be short, and their presentations will, of course, be a little more long this morning. So at our head table this morning, we have Zulfikar Ali. He is the chairperson of the American Chamber of Commerce here in Guyana. Sitting right next to Mr. Ali is the United States Ambassador, Ms. Sarah Ann Lynch. And directly to her left is our chairwoman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Justice Claudette Singh. And of course, one of our coordinators for this weekend's event, Ms. Nazima Ragaber. She is the president of the Guyana Press Association. So we have started a few minutes behind schedule, so let's get straight into the program. So I'd like to welcome to the podium Mr. Zulfikar Ali, who will share the welcome remarks.
Thank you, Melissa. All protocols observed. I would first like to extend a very warm welcome to all our guests and participants and be the first to say how proud we are that you have chosen to partner and to join with us in playing a crucial role in the electoral process. From the onset, I should let you know that this initiative is made possible today from a grant by the government of the United States, and AmCham Guyana would like to express our sincerest gratitude to Ambassador Lynch and the government and people of the United States of America for partnering and funding this very timely initiative. We would also like to thank the Guyana Press Association for partnering with us and also recognizing the need to strengthening our journalists' knowledge of Guyana's electoral process, in which GCOM has so kindly agreed to share during the course of this training, but also the international best practices for electoral reporting. I don't think it needs saying, but I will reiterate that journalists are the eyes and ears of the people, and for many, the only means to information about issues of public and national interest. Because of the reliance on this information in the formation of opinions and perspectives among members of the public, I cannot emphasize enough the need to ensure only credible information is placed in the public sphere. This places tremendous responsibility on the shoulders of journalists to report information accurately and dispassionately. While every citizen in Guyana, and journalists are no exception, is entitled to freedom of expression under our Constitution and under Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948 and Article 19 of the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights of 1966. These rights no doubt have to be balanced against the need to maintain peace and harmony during this period of elections, which has throughout Guyana's history been characterized by tension and mistrust between the major political players. Due to the sensitive nature of our politics, the need for careful language, emotional intelligence, balance, neutrality, and honesty remain fundamental to maintaining an atmosphere of confidence in the electoral process. The aim of this exercise is to augment journalistic skills for the purpose of reporting on elections. The objective is to bring awareness to the most recent and accepted international standards of journalism in this area. AmCham wishes to play its role along with GCOM, the US Embassy, and a substantial number of both local and international stakeholders in ensuring credible, peaceful, and transparent elections in Guyana. The Chamber and its members have a vested interest in the development of Guyana and recognize the strong link among democracy, economic stability, investor confidence, and business success. With this in mind, we intend to continue playing our role in supporting activities which promote democracy in Guyana, and we will continue to work closely with the US Embassy in Guyana, Ambassador Lynch and her team, and with Justice Singh and her team at GCOM. In closing, I would like to implore the community of journalists here present today to observe the strictest standards of journalistic ethics and play your role in keeping the citizenry informed with honesty and integrity. I also hope that you will use your pens to help shape and mold a Guyana you can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zulfikar. At this time, please welcome the President of the Guyana Press Association, Ms. Nazima Radabir.
Thank you. Chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Justice Claudette Singh, Ambassador Siran Lynch, Chairman of AmCham, Zulfikar Ali. I recognize the Chief Elections Officer, Keith Lowenfield, and other members of the Guyana Elections Commission staff. My colleagues, ACM's founding member, Wesley Gibbons, our overseas trainers, Michael Dibert and Leon Jackson Miller, welcome. and welcome to you. The Guyana Press Association is proud to be associated with this training aimed at ensuring media workers understand their role in providing coverage of elections, their role in the dissemination of credible information in this period, and their role in ensuring our work foster an environment of social cohesion at an often tense period. More than ever, our jobs have placed us in a position to amp up the level of our fact-checking. Put a greater effort into striking balance, digging deeper to present stories with all facets of fairness, and to present information without prejudice. This has proven to be very tricky and sometimes dangerous as journalism battle with social media to present news in real time, breaking stories in a competitive business environment, while all doing this with shrinking newsrooms. I feel our credibility is the only value we can have in this profession, and if you're serious about what you do, what we do, and real journalism, you will work to ensure that you check every box to provide fair, balanced stories that can inform rather than incite in this period and beyond. As we approach this period, the Guyana Press Association would like to encourage media houses to have some introspection and examine how our work can impact on the greater good for this country in this period and beyond. Examine whether or not we are writing the real stories that ought to be told. Are we covering the real issues tied to elections and the post-election period when the real work ought to begin? Are our headlines and soundbites informing our audiences, and most importantly, are we really holding our politicians accountable? With that said, the GP encourages the early commitment to the Code of Conduct for political parties. We urge the commitment goes beyond the ink. The code, albeit non-punitive, should not only reflect political parties' willingness to steer clear of mischievous statements, but also commitment to refrain from engaging in peddling disinformation. And my colleagues, in this age of disinformation, it is quite normal for you to desist the urge to click the share button on anything that you are uncertain about. We have to set a standard. The United States Embassy has its Check Yourself campaign, and that is a good start to make a commitment and recognize the fight against disinformation starts with us. Finally, the Guyana Press Association looks forward to the consultation on the Media Code of Conduct and encourages media houses to engage in the process to review this code and add your amendments and make that commitment. Colleagues, take the next few days to understand our electoral laws, the electoral system, best practices and experiences in other places. Ask questions, seek clarity, educate yourself to ensure that we set a higher standard of journalism. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nazima. Ambassador Sarah Lynch is always open to sharing her country's best practices with us. And as we focus today on the best practices of journalism, we are happy to have you here to share your remarks with us. Please help me to invite to the podium Ambassador Sarah Lynch.
Thank you so much, Melissa. It's just terrific being here and seeing so many. Hopefully there's a little feedback here. Is that? Okay, there we go. I think I got that under control. Great seeing so many friends and colleagues from your industry, both from Georgetown, but also from outside of Georgetown. So getting people coming in from the field for this important day or set of days is really great. So anyhow, thank you to the head table, to Justice Singh, to Zulfikar, to Nazima, other members from GCOM for your role in preparing this important media election training event. So jointly with the heads of missions of the British High Commission, the delegation of the European Union, the U.S. Embassy recently congratulated GCOM for a smooth and efficient nomination day. And we expressed our expectations for a peaceful and mature election campaign, one where everyone, regardless of political leanings, is able to express their views openly. We are here today because a free and robust press is vital to democracy and good governance. To fulfill its highest civic purpose, the press must be both independent and unbiased. Without independence, a media outlet functions as a public relations mouthpiece for whatever government, industry, or powerful interest controls or exercises direct influence over the outlet. Likewise, without the careful efforts of editors and journalists who dedicate their professional lives to objectivity and unbiased reporting of facts, media outlets would function merely as purveyors of party propaganda and spin. In both cases, whether lacking independence or neutrality, truth can be obscured. Media all around the world can surely do better in meeting the high but essential standards of independence and neutrality. But today we are focused on Guyana. In assessments of the media environment during the 2015 election in Guyana, some observers reported that the media were partisan in their election coverage. While observers noted the diverse range of content and opinion across the media, some of these assessments reported that very little of the coverage was neutral and unbiased. This election is your opportunity to turn the page on that history and to more faithfully convey unbiased information to the citizens of Guyana. In doing so, the press will display its leadership role as the purveyor of facts and balanced analysis on the elections. That leadership can yield a virtuous cycle of citizenship because well-informed citizens can better hold their political leaders accountable. As a daily consumer of content offered by Guyana's media outlets, I have certainly admired the breadth and the depth of the coverage in this country's media environment. There is, let's say, an exuberance of tone in much of the coverage that is like a daily celebration and exercise of Guyana's press freedoms, a freedom highly valued by my country as well. So I celebrate that freedom with all Guyanese. Our own biases are sometimes hard to see, and we all have them. This training event will highlight the journalistic tools reporters use, including fact-checking, multiple sourcing, and how to navigate partisan narratives. Equally important, you will have an opportunity to reinforce your abilities to use these tools and to methodically discover the unvarnished truth in a way that allows you to put aside personal biases. Journalism is a unique profession for the demands of idealism and self-awareness it places on its practitioners. Governments, companies, and political parties will always need their loyal spokespeople. And that's a fine job to have, if it's yours, if it's theirs. But in my opinion, that it's only a professional with loyalty first to the truth and dedication to delivering unbiased reporting of facts in the service of a well-informed citizenry that deserves to be called a journalist. The U.S. Embassy is in the midst of a social media campaign that Nazima mentioned, that we gave the hashtag check for yourself. Hope you like that. Hope it's going over okay. The campaign is aimed at stopping the spread of misinformation online. Unlike journalists, the average citizen may lack access to powerful facts, figures, or the resources to seek out additional sources for a claim on their own. But this campaign encourages all Guyanese to recognize that freedom of the press requires citizens to bear the responsibility with journalists to always stop, reflect, and verify what they hear and see to prevent the spread of misinformation. So the campaign includes a pledge to stop, reflect, and verify an article before sharing it. To date, over 50 people have signed the pledge, including, I'm told, several of you in this room. So if you haven't signed up, sign. And if you could, encourage others to do the same. So again, I am thrilled and honored to have the U.S. Embassy supporting this event here today and to be participating myself for the morning. And I saw the agenda. It looks like you're going to have a very lively conference here. So good luck to everyone. Thank you again for the invitation. Alyssa.
Thank you, Ambassador. So next on our program is Justice Claudette Singh. She's probably the busiest person in Guyana today, but yet she has taken the time to be here with us this morning. Please help us welcome Justice Singh.
Thank you, Melissa, for that introduction. Ambassador Lynch, President, I think you're Chairman of AmCham, President of the GPA, my GCOM colleagues, distinguished members of the media, facilitators, special invitees. A pleasant good morning to you all. I am indeed very honored and to be present here this morning, especially at this crucial time when we are heading towards our elections, which they say would be the modern grandmother of all elections. I am truly grateful to Ambassador Lynch, the AmCham, and the Guyana Press Association for successfully coordinating this event. In just 31 days from now, GCOM will be hosting the general and regional elections. The media, as the Fourth Estate, no doubt, will be disseminating a vast amount of information in the public domain, with messages specifically targeted at the political parties, their candidates, stakeholders such as GCOM and other key stakeholders as well, and the electorate. As chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission, it is commendable when the landscape is saturated with election content, which provides knowledge to the citizenry to help them in the process. That is, to help them participate in the process. It encourages democracy and lends itself to advocacy for all Guyana to participate in a democratic process. However, this wider process could only be achieved through responsible journalism and reporting. Already I have watched, listened to, and read some very disconcerting stories. And all I have to say is sensationalized reporting is irresponsible journalism, particularly when our election is just around the corner. It evokes emotion, which may very well stimulate mistrust and violence in an already charged environment. This is not cricket. And during cricket season, we are all together, but I do not know what takes place during election. In the interest of peace and stability, I urge you not to execute your functions at the expense of a peaceful society. You must be careful and responsible in your reporting on any election day incident. Do not sensationalize your stories. Ensure that you have credible information. Be aware of hearsay reports. Do not act on them unless you have verified your stories. I'm quite disappointed when I read certain newspapers and I see they have a cartoon depicting the outcome of the elections and then using the word rig. That is very irresponsible at this point in time. It creates mistrust. Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, with so many safeguards implemented at every polling station, inclusive of parties, election agents, local and international observers, the Guyana Elections Commission is cognizant that it will deliver free, fair, and transparent elections on March 2nd, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, GCOM regards the media as a key stakeholder in the elections process, and hence our collaboration with the GPA to ensure this vital training session. I encourage you to make full use of this opportunity to interact with your colleagues and have healthy discussions on election matters. Going forward, it is my expectation that I would read, watch, listen to objective, balanced, fair, and accurate reporting. Resist the spin. Contextualize your stories and avoid self-censorship. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and you can be assured that GCOM will endeavor to produce free and fair elections.
Thank you very much, Justice Singh. So we have come to the end of our first segment here this morning, and what was echoed by all of our presenters were the importance of eliminating cognitive bias during this election season to ensure free, fair, and transparent elections here in Guyana. So I want to say thank you very much to the members of our head table. We are very grateful that you are here with us today to share your remarks. And to all of our participants and the facilitators who are also here with us, we are looking forward to a weekend of transformative changes, added transformative changes to the way we deliver the reports for the 2020 elections. So just a quick note, we will be going straight into registration.